understand who Killer the Dog was.
Well, I just think...
Nowhere to go when. What's up, Mike?
What's happening, man?
Well, you sound good.
Thank you.
Well, I'm moving and grooving. I'm trying to figure things out. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a little hectic right now because I'm gonna hop on a plane after this, and I'm gonna see you this weekend, right? On
Yes,
Friday
sir.
night.
Friday
Tonight.
night. Yep. Tonight. Yeah. Yep.
That's right. We're gonna see you tonight. For the Patreon members, I'll see you tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
And he's gonna bring the box, and we're gonna get that stuff out of your hair.
Okay. Sounds good.
So the code it's not a code, but for people that don't understand what Mike and I are talking about, Mike basically has my whole life on video in him and Annie's apartment. Like everything. Like the good, the bad, the ugly. I just gave you raw everything.
Yeah, you did. Looked like you were moving in, man.
It did. I know you didn't expect that much when I showed up.
I know one of the neighbors here, they saw you in there and he was like, "What's going on?" I'm like, Jim Breuer's here. I got him moving stuff in. He goes, "I thought that was him." I'm like, "Yeah, that's him." Yeah.
So he's just dropping off boxes in this in this apartment complex.
Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here, folks. Tell you that right.
Move along.
Move along. What's all this equipment, this computer equipment you're setting up in your house,
yeah,
Mike
right.
and Andy? What's going on in there? Nothing to see here, folks. Just keep moving along.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. So Joe Sib, me and Joe Sib went and we're doing merchandise together. Like we went in a partnership. And he called me this morning, right? Like literally an hour before this. People don't know it, but right now it's actually it's 10 a.m.
Yep.
On a Wednesday. And he called me about 8:45. He's like, "Dude, I got a fever, bro. Dude, you know me. I would power through it, but it's all good." So he's not going to be on these two shows. But now I don't the merch thing. I don't know, because he does see this is the issues we got to figure out with Joe Sib. It's like, if you're not going to be there, how are we pulling the merch off? So I guess he's shipping the merchandise. So for all of you coming to the show, the Keswick Theater, for Patreon tonight, it was last night, and for those of you coming to the Bergen Pack tonight, there is merchandise and there is meet and greets. I don't know if everyone knows this, but we do have meet and greets at every show now. It is a paid meet and greet. I meet you after the show, but all that stuff is going down. But Mike, I'm definitely gonna. How you want to do that? You bringing it to the venue?
Yeah. I'll just load a bunch of stuff up in my truck. Yeah.
I keep watching Dice's video, and it's so. Now I check. Now I'm following his Instagram, and I send him messages, and he's like, it's funny. He sent me back. He's like, "I'm so glad you like these," and he wrote "Merry Christmas," and all I hear is, "Glad you like them, Jim. I mean, Merry Christmas." He's so. Did you see the one he just did where he goes in a retail store, and he's in a retail store, and he goes up to the sales clerk, and he's trying to get this preppy looking guy, and he's like, and he keeps the camera close to his face, and he's like, man, it's the holidays, and I know and then he's looking at the guy, and the guy's like, "Huh?" He's like, I know you want a picture. It's the holidays. I'm botching it. I'm not doing it. You gotta go on Andrew Dice Clay's Instagram and watch this. It's I don't know why it cracks me up. It cracks me up. So You don't have to go and just me. I was going to talk to you, Mike. I want to let everyone know that I'm definitely planning programming for next year. In other words, and I just got to see how we're going to do it. Like, do we do it here? Do we do it on episodes? Do we do little clips, like a whole series with me touring with Metallica? We have all that footage. And then with these tapes that I'm going to get back from you, Mike, we're going to have family day stuff. And I'm going to be sending you a whole bunch of stuff. Like, we're going to have a new little theme song going to start the show. With some, with some video. I already gave Evan the note.
Yep.
And then I hear that Annie, our producer, she talked with everyone I grew up on my street, pretty much the gang that I grew up with on my street. I don't know what they talked about, but she was all jacked up after that.
Yeah, no, it was good. We did it the other day. It was, I'm super excited for this.
Really?
Yeah.
See, now because you don't understand. I had this thing called the Jefferson Avenue Kids. And at first, I had the greatest tales of growing up. Matter of fact, my one friend, Phil, he immediately texted me after you guys all talked. And we used to talk about creating a movie for this. So maybe we get some friends that have been on here or whatever, or someone wants to try to write a movie. And we had a whole movie script of this. It's like Sandlot meets Goodfellas without the killing. And I don't know how to describe it as this childhood of all of us growing up on this one street. It was such a brotherhood, such a family. It wasn't perfect, but it was I'm excited to hear whatever they did, because I set up like this. I went, listen, Annie, call all these guys and let's start getting stories from all the neighborhood, and then we'll present them here on the Breuniverse. And then this sounds, I don't know if this is crazy, but we put out like a contest. We could set something up if you want to animate the stories. I'm sure there's people that are animators out there, but I don't even know what this is going to turn into. I just know I'm super excited. At one point, MTV wanted to create this, and we did. But they wanted it older and they wanted it more sexualized. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ready to sexualize, man. I'd much rather you grow with these kids like the Little Rascals all the way up into the teenage years, and then you just see them gradually grow and go through life. God, if I was a Hollywood producer 20, 30 years ago, I'd be like, this is a Netflix style series that can last 10 years to watch this whole crew grow up. But so what did you get out of this? I'm so curious now.
It's awesome because, you talk a lot about these guys in your stories, and, you bring them up a lot, and, we get your side of it. But to bring them in and get their side of how they saw it, and not only that, but Phil, who else was there? Jeff was there. I forget.
Was Tommy there?
Tommy was in it for like a few minutes, and he left for some reason. I guess maybe some technical issues.
Okay.
And I don't want to say his name wrong. Ilya. Yeah. They. I mean, obviously, they're their own person. They have their own personalities. But to actually see them and see the personality living in front of you, it's gonna make this whole thing so much better. It's so cool. It is. So we got into just a real quick thing. We got into they were talking about the go-kart that you guys built. It was like 400 pounds. It was huge. Engineer Billy made it, right?
Yes.
He's the engineer.
And we can't find him. I can't find him.
I think it was Phil that said he was reaching out to him or trying to reach out to him or something like that.
Billy. I hope we get Billy Kirshner.
But during that little meeting, I actually, because of all the tapes that you gave me, I was able to find footage of that giant go-kart and all you kids pushing it in the street. It's crazy.
People don't understand it. When you say giant go-kart,
Oh, it's huge.
First of all, it has two sections. It had a front section
Yep.
that pulled the entire. It was like pulling a freaking trailer behind it, and the design that Billy Kirshner did with this kid was brilliant, and we knew he was brilliant, but at the same time, you can't understand the madness behind. Like, we were sports kids, and it would piss me off because Billy couldn't hit a ball. Piss me off. So I try to teach him everything. He'd do this whole, fixing his helmet, stand like that, put his one foot in the batter's box and take a minute. And then if a plane, Billy was addicted to staring at planes. It was like it was almost like if someone was like Asperger's, I don't know the different types, or a little bit of an autistic thing. That's what they would call it now. But we'd be in we'd be in a conversation, and because we lived near the airport, so every 3 seconds these planes would come by. Every 3 minutes, planes would come by, and they were low and they were loud. I mean, I do it in my show. Like, it's not an exaggeration. And Billy would be talking to you, Mike, and he'd be like this, and all of a sudden he'd go, "That's a DC-9 stretch, Eastern Airlines. The time is 9:17 a.m." And like, Billy, and we were fine with it until we were playing a stickball game. So we'd be a stickball game. It's like, it's the bottom of the 9th inning, and Billy's coming up, and all of a sudden, no, he'd be in the outfield, and he would go, "Time out, time out!" Like, Billy, what? He's like, "There's a special." He had certain planes that were specials because they only flew over once a day. You're like, "There's a special coming." Like, "Billy, it comes over every day. Jesus, what are you doing?" It's like, "I'm pitching the ball, Billy. It's a Boeing DC-10. I'm like, "Oh my God, Billy, I'm gonna kill you." Drove up. But at the same time, this kid was handing out business cards at 12 years old. If you want to know anything about planes,
Wow.
and as much, you think about a 12-year-old kid that grew up, we're street kids. I mean, I can't comprehend. I'm the protector. I was the king of the block.
You were the oldest of the group, right?
I was the oldest of the group,
Yeah.
and I was the king of the block. Billy was 6 months younger than me. There was once in a while one other kid, but I was the muscle. I was the king of the block. I was the oldest, so I was the overseer, the older brother. I made the rules, and I was also the protector. And there's so many great stories. And there were times I was a dick. And dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. There was times where, like, I asked the universe, the spirits, the gods to forgive me. Especially Jeffrey. Jeffrey took probably the blunt of my dickiness. Like, Jeffrey would come out of his house all proud and excited because his mom would bake. She'd bake him cookies. She'd make homemade pizza. I'm eating Elios, or I'm having English muffins with melted Velveeta cheese on it. This guy's pulling out homemade pizza, and he was, he'd sit there, come out all nonchalant, and I'd pull the dick move, like, "Wow, what is that?" "Oh, my mom made a cupcake." Pank, slap it on his hand, stomp on it. I'm like, "What the f*** you doing?" They'd come out here and show off, make me all hungry. And such a dick. And then there was Or then we do this. Can a pizza? Can I just have one? We do the whole, let me just get one bite. Just one little bite. There's nothing he can do. Twice the size of him. What are you going to do about it? Oh, my God. I don't know what. So I saw Jeffrey at the Mets fantasy camp a couple weeks ago, and Elia came. And I'm not going to. I kind of thank God Elia is amongst the group because he took a lot too. So I was the king, and then we had the mini king, which was Tommy. And Tommy was like,
he was the youngest, right?
He was the youngest.
Yeah.
But and when I say young, not only is he the youngest, he was tiny. He was a munchkin. We were full-blown little rascals. Full-blown little rascals. Tommy was like, who were those two little kids that hung out with Petey and the Little Rascals? It doesn't matter. I think whatever they were little guys. But then you had like Stymie and the older kids and Alfalfa. That's exactly what we were. Like one day, Tommy was so small and he looked like a bodybuilder. He had this little tiny waist and he just looked like a fighter, and he was always ready to fight. I've never seen a child just want to fight. And this kid would pounce people. I mean, I was also afraid to talk about a lot of this because there was some violence. There was fighting. It was not amongst us, but other kids would come on the street and Tommy and the kids. It was like, yeah, no, man, we ain't playing this game. It was. I'm interested to see what's going to come out of these stories. They're incredible neighborhood stories, and yeah. So you got some good stuff out of this.
Yeah, a little bit of the dish on Washington Ave kids. I guess those are your rivals.
The rivalry.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll give you one quick story, and I don't know how they're going to tell it. So this other street, we'd always compete against this other street. And Tommy actually had two cousins on that street. So he gives the lowdown on his cousins. Gerard and James. That's what the kids' name. They were twins. And we'd always play them in hockey. They always want to play us in hockey. They always kick our ass. I mean, we'd kick their ass. It was, it wasn't. They're like, it's not fair because you're like older than us. I'm like, wait, I got a kid 6 years old on my team. What are you talking? I got a 6-year-old and a 7-year-old. What are you talking about? And they're my defense. You guys are all 10, 11. What do you, yeah, I'm 13, but you guys are. So this one year, they said, we're getting O'Gorman. And I'm telling you right now, O'Gorman was like the Wayne Gretzky of roller hockey. This kid, everyone in Valley Stream knew O'Gorman. It was like, this kid, wow, he's like the greatest scorer, the greatest hockey player. It's just, if he's on your team, it's over. So, oh shoot, okay, all right. Well, they're gonna get O'Gorman. All right, well, this is a battle. Let's do this. Well, we're waiting for them to show up, and it's like a movie, man. We got the dead end street, and we're waiting. We're staring at the end of the street, wait for, and they come into our street, with their hockey, and they're coming down, and the skates and the gloves on, and all of a sudden, here they come one by one. We're like, where's the O'Gorman kid? And then here he comes, boom, bump, and he's skating, and he's skating backwards. And he's doing silhouettes, and you're like, oh, this kid is gonna be good. He's doing circles. He's doing a whole song and dance on the way down. So I'm looking at my team, Billy, who has Billy. First of all, he's gonna be staring at planes every 30 seconds during a hockey game. I got Elia, who falls down. He can't skate yet. But I've got Jeffrey, I got Phil, and I got Chris in the goal. And I got little Tommy, who had little metal skates. He didn't even have real skates. He had metal skates. So you had to run. So when he came down the street, there was no rolling. Tommy would run with these stupid skates. And I look at Tommy. I go, Tommy, listen to me. You got to take this O'Gorman kid out of the game. All right. Like, you gotta be on him, and he goes, well, what if he comes after me? I'm like, Tommy, I'm going to protect you. Don't worry about that. You just make sure you're on him like a fly on cow dung. I need you on him. I need you to take him out of the game. Now, in my head, I'm thinking, if I say take him out of the game, I mean, like if we're playing baseball, I say, listen, we gotta take Bryce Harper out of the game. What I mean is, don't throw him any pitches that he's gonna hit in the upper deck. Don't give him any opportunity to beat us. Well, we're about to drop the puck, and Tommy winds up with his stick, and he goes kabang in the kid's shin. And he's older than all. He goes down, and he's like, "Oh, God, I'll kill you!" Now the whole team is running after Tommy. There's like 8 kids running after roll, and he's going through people's bushes. People coming out of the house like, "Stop running across my grass! You kids get out! You're going through the goddamn bushes! I'm going to cut!" It was mayhem. Jumping over fences, and I'm like, he's a kid, leave him alone. It was me. I'm on top of O'Gorman. He's just a kid, man. He's just a kid. I mean, we had, oh man, did we have some funny times in that street.
Yeah, they briefly talked about that incident, and then Tommy was worried about the statute of limitations.
Yeah, he Tommy doesn't like putting it. By the way, when I refer to Tommy, what a lot of you don't understand, if you look at my first comedy special, which is called Hardcore, my first 1 hour special it was on Comedy Central, Hardcore, and I do the whole Tommy and Duke sketch. So there was this dog called Duke. And Duke was just like Sandlot, but they had a long fence and a big yard. The only ones that had a big yard, and their house was set in the back. So sometimes we'd play stickball in front of Jeffrey's house, and if the ball went into Duke's yard, the ball's gone. We can't get it because Duke gets it, and he was vicious. So if you rode your bike down the street, he'd start, like, if you were coming on one end of the street, he'd be waiting for you on top of the fence, and he'd follow you the whole way. And the owner was like, he looked like a Marine guy. He was like in the National, ex-Marine.
Is that Sarge?
No, Sarge was the mean. Don't play in front of my house. Oh yeah. My God, he was a mean, nasty. Wow, so they threw all the names out too.
Oh yeah, I got notes of stuff we were talking about. Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to hear this. I can't wait to hear this. But the ball, and I would get so pissed. I have this as a cartoon. You know what? I have this.
It's somewhere around here. Yeah, it's in one of these boxes. I remember seeing it.
We'll air that episode, and we'll also air. I animated that Tommy bit.
Yep.
I had a friend that did that for me. I did do it for me. It cost me a lot of money. So long story short, and I'm telling you, I'll get all these guys on to back this story up. So Jeffrey would come up, I'd be like, Jeffrey, because he'd always pull the ball. I'm like, I swear to God, Jeffrey. And we called chips on a ball. And what that meant was, if you lost the ball, you owe me money. So I got a brand new tennis ball. I'm like, chips. I open up a brand new tennis bin. And that's what we play stickball with. And it was beautiful. You look at the ball like, oh my God, it's going to be amazing. But when I hit this ball, it's going to go over the trees. It's going to be amazing. But I'd open this thing. I'm like, Jeffrey, this is a brand new ball. Chips. 75 cents. Like 75 cents. The whole thing cost 75 cents or you're not playing. And if you hit it in Jeffrey, if you hit it in Duke, I swear to God, I'll punch you right in the face. I'll punch you right in your head, Jeffrey. Why are you going to punch me in the head? I swear to brand new ball. So, sure enough, Duke is out there. He hits the ball in the yard. God damn it. Tommy doesn't even hesitate. The kid, now you got to think of a chain link fence, right? Chain link fence. He's not even as high as the fence. So he's below the fence. That's how small this kid is. He goes, runs, he jumps right into the yard. And we're like, Tommy, oh my God, Tommy, be careful. Like, what and they had ivy in the front. So the ball's in the ivy. And he's looking around. And all of a sudden, you see this dog, Duke, just sneak around the corner. And he starts running for Tommy. And I swear to God, that was one of the most scariest moments of my life. That was so scary. He's running. We're screaming for Tommy. Tommy, get it. He's like, I got the ball. We're like, run to the fence. At the same time, we're like, throw the ball over the fence. That's the most important thing. Make sure you get that ball over the fence. That's number one. Safety is number two. So he throws the ball over. Tommy. And he's running up this little hill to get to the fence. And he falls down and smashes against the fence. And the dog runs up to him. And we all went in a panic. And the dog started sniffing him. And then he started humping him. And he gets on his back. And he starts... his little thing is out. And Tommy has no clue what's going on. He's like, oh my God, he likes me. He totally likes me. And he's so small. And the dog is so big, he keeps knocking him down. And now we can't breathe because we're laughing so hard. We can't breathe because we know what's going on, but Tommy's too young to know what's going on. And we're like, Tommy, Duke loves you. Oh my God, out of all the people, he loves you. Man, there's going to be I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
And I'm not only just the stories, but who knows if it becomes something. That's even another whole thing. All right, good. I'm glad I know Annie was super excited. All right. So with that said, I did this thing. I just want to encourage you as the holidays come along. So I started. What are you doing for the holidays?
What are we doing? I usually do Christmas Eve with my dad's side of my family, and then Christmas Day I do with my mom.
Oh, so they're separated.
Yeah, they've been separated forever.
A long time.
My dad's separated in the ground now, but that's a whole different thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I still go over there. I see like my aunt, my uncle, my cousin, and all that stuff. That was always the holiday tradition. We went over to my dad's side on Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day was my mom's side.
Yeah, that's why because I remember you saying that a while ago, especially after talking about more than me. So I was like,
yeah. For
a split second, I don't know if my past weed experiences kicked in. I'm like, wait a minute, your dad. I think your dad. Yeah, no. Your dad's. I love that you still get together with all of them. That's that's important anyway. That's
important. Oh yeah. No, it's definitely a thing for me.
So I'm going into. Yeah, we're going into every Christmas Eve we go to that, but we go to this group, and I'm just going to do my very best because one of the group they love bringing up, they love to just present their awareness of the things going on in society. uh, is so it's so it's so it's entertaining. It's very entertaining. So I started thinking we should have we should do a fasting. This is part of the New Year thing that I want to do for all listeners. Let's do it's going to be hard. First, a media fasting. Media fasting. You have to do it for 1 week. And then we'll have people call in and be honest how they felt and how addicted are they? How long did they last before they had to check in to see what was going on? Like, what did you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the beginning. Like for instance, I'm starting to meet new people down here in Naples, and it's bizarre because 6-7 years ago, no one cared about politics. Like, you cared about politics. I always said it was professional wrestling, but you'll hear, if me and you were talking 7 years ago, before Trump was in office, you'd go, I'm a Democrat. Like, I'm not anything. And you're like, I love so-and-so as the president, and I hate them. And I'm like, oh my God, why would you? I can't stand them. I can't stand. All right, so are we going to order food here? What do we do? And it's over.
Yep.
It's not even a thought process. It's like, I like wearing these shoes. What do you like to me, they're comfortable. Oh, okay. Now, we've reached a point where if they vote a certain way or they think a certain way, they're just dead to you. They're dead to you. And it's weird because I'll hang out with one group and all they talk about is XYZ and XYZ. And then I'll be talking with some others, and then as I get to know them, they don't really talk about things. And then this group will say, "Oh, that group is they're crazy and they're the you-know-whats and they're out there and blah, 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 blah." And then this group will go, "Yeah, well, they're those people, with their this and their and their patriotism and blah, blah, blah." And then I'll get this group that go, they're just, they're angry individuals, this whole extremism and blah. And then I'll talk to them and I'm like, but if you take all that away, you slice that off the top of the cake, everyone has one theme in common. And that's where I think we got to start building and really working on for the new years to get this message out, where you gotta stop getting emotionally tied to politics, because you don't know, even your favorite political guy, no matter who the person is, nobody has brought up Epstein's log. Nobody. So all your favorite, this is, you have to understand this. Politics is a well-designed emotional toy to control your emotions, to control your actions. If you go into any gathering, and you take away, you're not allowed. If we made it like the Hunger Games, you're not allowed to speak one thing about politics, not one. And politics is not medicine. Some people said Jim got all political. No, I didn't. How do you politicize medicine? It's impossible. You got caught up in the mind control. Politics is one big professional wrestling match. Even these court, did you, it says here that you lied to Congress. Well, it says here that you lied, but nobody's doing anything. How long are you going to wait? You're going to wait till the next election when we take over the House and then things will be better? Haven't you been doing that the last 100 years? How long are you going to play that game? Well, in 2 years and in 4 years, and we're going to celebrate. What are you celebrating? Oh, we're going to lose that. They're all playing your emotions. Where's Epstein's list? Oh, yeah, Put this on the front line. Let's get Kyrie Irving. Oh, anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism. Oh, here comes Kanye. Dave Chappelle. And I'm not denouncing any of those people. But you seem to forget the second one big company said, hey, man, brought to you by, yes, that company said, openly admitted, we never tested to see if it stops the whoops. You had the scarf lady who said, we knew, we didn't really understand. They openly admitted to your face. You had another company that said, we're pissed because we had the patent and they had the patent before it came out. Oh, but you go marching for abortion. My body, my choice. My body, my choice. You fell for that slogan. Dehumanized. Take away the guns for the children's rights. For the children's rights. For the children's rights? There's a court case that you didn't see. You watched Johnny Depp, didn't you? Hey, the Johnny Depp. I didn't think that Johnny Depp. She's crazy. When are you going to realize you're being played? There's a list of powerful, your favorite celebrities, your favorite politicians, your emotionally tied athletes that got on planes and flew to these amazing islands, stole children, tormented, and you just, hey, I hope the Eagles go undefeated. Hey, oh my God, we got to do something about it. We got to do a walk-a-thon. Maybe some of these people have deep ties and the show is so big on the Republican side and the Democrat side with their symbols, with their little symbols, with their symbols. Maybe it's so deep you can't what Jack Nicholson said, you can't handle the truth. So what I'm saying is, there's a list. Why isn't the list out? Why isn't it released? Why is it not released? Why do you not demand that? Why is there not a 1 million person march to demand who flew to the islands and who tortured these children?
Allegedly.
Because I saw the list is on and none of them have talked about it. None of them. None of them. Stephen Colbert is on there. Jimmy Kimmel's on there. The one that's floating on the internet. There's some big names on there. I don't know about you, but like I said before, I'd be going, hey, man, my name is on there. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I don't know who's floating this around, but I'm coming after you. I'm suing you. If I'm Stephen Colbert, the first thing I'm putting out there, like, hey, man, this thing is floating around the internet. He's seen it. He knows it's there. He ain't a dumb human being. Address it. Address it. Because until it's addressed, I have my serious doubts. And it ain't just me. There's a lot of people that have serious doubts with those names on there. Whether you want to believe it or not. I just know if my name was in a big thing like that, I'd be pretty damn concerned knowing I got children, a family, and friends, and all that jazz. There's some big, big influential people on that list. Why doesn't anyone talk about it? Where's the 1 million person march? We want the list. Why isn't there in your town gatherings of 100 people? You'll get together for women's rights and abortion and gun control. And we got climate change and send money to Ukraine. How goofy. But you won't put that emotions into a list of children. This whole Valencia, whatever it's called. You're just going to sit there. Yeah, oh, well. All these things are thrown in your face, and then the big distractions come. Then they come. Oh, look over there. He said that. Oh, the anti-Semitism. Threat to our democracy. Anti-Semitism. It's a flock of cockatoos that just keep flying out. January 6th. Extremists. Oh, my God. Where is that list? Stop getting involved in politics. Politics is a great word for control. Another great word to control your emotions. It's controlling it's controlling the way you think, the way I go to dinner with people. They have a couple cocktails, and then for 20 straight minutes, and this and that, and this and that, and that, and this and that, and this and that, and that, and this, and they did that, and they did that, and but dang it. How much goofier does the circus have to get for you before you go, oh, maybe this, maybe you are being played. You're being played. They're all actors. It's all scripted. It's been scripted. You got to get back to looking after one another. They created this political divide. It's a well-designed system. You're human. We're human. You know what our natural instinct is? To look after one another. To care for one another. The way I grew up in a neighborhood. All for one and one for all. You don't have to like each other, but you should know each other. We all are connected on a deep spirituality. That's why they push science. Trust the science. Science has no soul. You have a soul. I have a soul. A conscious. You don't know. We're all connected spiritually. So you have to fast, meaning fast your brain. Stop getting involved with politics. You know when I'll start believing politicians? When they show up in a town and they I don't want a moderator. Why do they pick moderators? I'll tell you why, because they're paid. And they're brought to you by Tonight's debate is brought to you by how doofy do you have to be? If I'm paying for an event, you don't think I have an agenda? You don't think money is that powerful? You don't think power, the wanting to be power to control your thoughts and emotions exists? Come on, man. Wake up, please. Please. This is not political. This is real. This is good versus evil. This is going down. So be very careful of all the circus rings that you're watching. We're so connected. They don't want you connected. And now they're even into they got you politically. If you're for this, they keep dividing you. All right, women's rights. We'll put the women there. Women hate the man. And we'll start getting the kids to be confused and change their sex. Then we're going to, you don't see the pockets of divide. Who's doing this? Who's promoting this? Who's doing it? Where's the list and who's doing this? And stop, please. The holidays are coming. We are here on borrowed time. Don't forget that. You're not immortal. You think you're immortal. That's why you put things in your lips and take substances or whatever. Like, oh, this will make me look immortal. You're not immortal. We're on borrowed time, baby. And our mission from day one was to look after one another, to lift each other up, to care for one another, to heal one another, to present knowledge to one another, knowledge that lifts your spirit, that warns you of dark. Get this week, give yourself a test. The minute anyone tries to bring up politics, you go, we're not talking that. Talk to me about your kids. Talk to me about your family. Talk to me about your home. Talk to me about the struggles you got going on, because I can use the help. You can use the help. What's going on with your teenagers? They're driving you. Well, tell me, brother. Tell me, sister. Maybe we can help each other out. I don't care who you voted for. I don't care what you believe. I need some help right here. Those are small steps. So, try fasting, no media whatsoever, and no politics. Try it for 1 week and see. First thing you're going to learn is how addicted you are. That's, they say heroin's addicting. Guess what? Politics is addicting. What's the new up and up? Did you hear the latest? You live in a world you can't control. You can't control your own destiny. You don't know what's waiting for you right around the corner. You may get in a car with your wife and someone blows the red light, smashes into, and it's a whole different Friday going on. Tubes in the mouth, this thing, you don't know if you're going to make it. That's how fragile life is. And then that's when you'll sit there and go, why did I waste all my time waiting for the midterm elections to save me, or the new president to save me? You're still paying high gas prices. It's still madness. Everyone's not going to change, but you got to start. You got to start at least acknowledging. Come on, man. Come on. So that's my mission for this next year. We got to bring people together. And I'm seriously thinking about bringing on people addicted to politics. I think that might be fun. And I want to exploit how addicting it is and how crazy the cockatoo is in them. And cockatoos only repeat what they see and hear. They didn't come up with it. No one comes up with, this is a threat to our democracy. It's January 6th. January, a threat to our democracy. Come on, man. If I hear anyone see these words, we should start going, and they don't know what's going on. If you're repeating what you see on television and you think that's your own thought process, you're a cockatoo. You're a bird. And if you ever just ask questions, well, let me ask you this: they can't go much further than they get angry because they know they never gave it a thought process. You got a beautiful brain. We got these brains, these well-designed, powerful. I'm not even going to question the design that we have. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's a miracle. We are miracles. Let's start acting like it. Get everyone out of there. Let's fast for a week. No media, no politics, no problems. No media, no politics, no problems. When you take away media, no politics, those are one less major problem in your life. I'm telling you, life's always going to have problems. They're always going to have issues. Those are puzzles to figure out. Sacrifices in your own life, how you got to take care of them. But this game that they're pulling every human into, that's why I go study natural humans. Go. I go to Africa. This would be my 6th time going to Africa. I'm going to Peru. I like studying real humans. There is no gender. There's no one cutting their thing off and becoming. There is no confusion if you're a boy or a girl. Because they don't have the mind control. They don't have what our society's going through. There is no Republican or Democrat. There is no two-party. They don't vote. They know who the doctor is. They know who the wise people are, and they treat them with respect. We're not gonna change it all, but you need to change your individual life. I'm not perfect. Listen, I'm not perfect. I'm not. I preach to you or I talk to you. I just care. I care about humans. I really do. I care more than you can ever imagine. I love humanity. I love humanity. There's so much to offer and bring to the table, but you got to turn it all off. And when you do, I promise you, you will begin to realize that the nonsense world that keeps trying to draw us in all comes from one big screen and one big speaker. And when you take away those speakers and you take away the screens, clarity begins to come in. I don't watch sports anymore, but I love playing sports. I just ordered a whole freaking wiffle ball set. I'm going to get my neighborhood all riled up. We're going to have wiffle ball. We're going to have the greatest time ever. Start doing things together. No politics. All right? I'll see you next week in the Breuniverse. I'll see you, if you're a patron, I'm at the Keswick Theater this evening in Pennsylvania, and then the Bergen Pack tonight for the rest of you. And for everyone around the world that reaches out to me and sends me personal notes, I cannot thank you enough. I hear you and you are heard. And I spread joy, spread peace. Stop. The minute someone brings up politics, stop them. Stop them. We're not talking there. Until they start admitting, they're never going to admit truth. It's too much power there. When someone starts pushing that list, then I'll take seriously every little group that wants to pick it and stand up for something. We care about the children? Do you? Do you? We'll see about that. All right. Safe journeys to you all. Freaking love you guys. I went off on a little tangent. Sometimes I do that. That's what the Breuniverse is for. We have a great new year that I'm planning. I'm super excited about it. We're going to have some good laughs. Good laughs. We're going to go on some cool journeys. I'm going to bring you guys on some journeys. We have some cool programs to put out there. And I got a killer team behind me. I got awesome people, and Mike and Annie and Evan and everyone that's around me. And I love it. And that's what you need. Start building a little community around you. One that cares. All right? Stay out of trouble. We'll see you next time in the Breuniverse. Thanks, Mike. All the best to you guys. We'll see you. I'll see you tonight at the Bergen Pack.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for checking in the Breuniverse. Have a good one.
Take a look around and what do you see? What did they do tonight? We're making history.
Hey, this is Jim Breuer, and I got my own Patreon page, and hopefully you'll check it out. Live comedy concert streamed once a month. Weekly, you host your own podcast, and you interview me. Early access to the Breuniverse podcast every single week, and have bonus footage and bonus segments. I promise you I'm not going to let you down. Go check out my official Jim Breuer Patreon page, and I'll see you there.